These are the most dangerous invasive species destroying our ecosystems. Let's dive right into it.
This is a lionfish, and it really looks cool. You may feel like playing with it, but these fish are venomous, and these fins have venom glands. They sting predators to get away from them, as a defense mechanism. Lionfish are mostly found in the Indo-Pacific region. It means the Indian Ocean and the Pacific Ocean, if you're not sure what it means. But they were also sold as aquarium fish in America. People started buying it as pet fish. Soon they would regret buying it. Maybe the fish was too big for their aquarium, or it was hard to take care of it. So they would dump them on the nearby beach, Florida in this case, and the fish would start its new life in the Atlantic Ocean. The first fish was sighted around 1885 and few others in 1890. After a few more people dumped them, they started mating and thriving. And now, we see them everywhere. I'm from Florida, and I know what it actually looks like. Lionfish breed like crazy. A female lionfish lays around 2 million eggs per year, with less than 0.001% survival rate for eggs. But since the water was a foreign territory, most native fish would ignore the eggs. The big predators like sharks and eels would avoid adult lionfish too. They were foreign objects, and animals usually don't eat unknown things. With almost no predators, that survival rate was insanely high. You may laugh at this number, but with this rate, 2 lionfish can multiply to 100 million plus within 8 years.
It's unbelievable. Nature basically turned 2 fish into a billion-dollar invasion. But here's the plot twist. You can actually eat them. The venom's in the spines, not the meat. And apparently it tastes amazing, like buttery white fish. Florida even hosts lionfish hunting contests. So yeah, if you catch one, you're doing marine biology and fine dining at the same time. Eat the invaders, save the reef.
So, the population of lionfish started compounding. Since defense was not necessary now, they started using venom for offense and started killing native species. They would eat anything from crabs, lobster, fish, clams, and 70+ other species. Lionfish are the biggest enemies of the coral reef. They started killing the creatures that kept the reefs clean. They even started eating parrotfish. And you know how hard they work to keep the algae away from the reefs. The whole ecosystem started to crumble, and some immediate action was needed. Authorities tried to control it, but since they can survive within 1,000 feet depth, the control was almost impossible. So, researchers are teaching eels and sharks to hunt and eat lionfish. Also, a lot of lionfish catching contests are held in Florida to reduce their population. Anyone can join those events, even you can participate. I took part in a local lionfish tournament last year and caught 17 lionfish. The winner caught around 180. Heh. I took home 3 lionfish and grilled them. They are sweet, buttery, and quite delicious, and provide a ton of nutrients. Just remove the venomous fins and everything else is edible. If you can't beat them, just eat them, I guess.
Nice that he told you this. It's actually a really good message hidden under that funny animation style, like a TED Talk wrapped in a meme. The "if you can't beat them, eat them" line is peak chaotic logic, but honestly, it works. Teaching sharks to hunt lionfish sounds like nature's version of DLC content. Weirdly genius and slightly terrifying. Culinary justice for the coral reefs, I'm here for it.
It was early 1920s, and sugarcane was a vital economic source at that time. But cane beetle larvae, known as white grub, started eating sugarcane roots, and the sugarcane industry started falling apart. It needed an immediate solution. And what did they come up with? The toads. Yup, the toads that would save the sugarcane from those white grubs. And that's how it got its name, the cane toad. But, did it save the sugarcane field? Absolutely not. In the 1920s, Puerto Rico faced the cane beetle problem. So they brought some toads from South America and introduced them to the sugarcane field. They quickly multiplied, but there was a problem. The toads ate every other bug except the white grubs. It even ate the ants that were actually eating those grubs. Now it was a bigger problem.
That's actually kind of ridiculous. Imagine trying to fix one bug problem and accidentally creating a frog empire. Classic human move? Introduce a solution that makes everything worse. The cane toads were basically like, nah, we'll eat literally everything except the target. It's the ecological version of hiring a bodyguard who robs your house.
The toads were increasing and eating native reptiles and birds too. And the whole ecosystem of Puerto Rico started to degrade. Around 7 years later, Hawaii faced the same sugarcane problem. They saw the result in Puerto Rico and said, "We are smarter than them. We can easily handle this." So they brought some toads from Puerto Rico. Around 3 years later, in 1935, they labeled it as invasive species. Yup, they couldn't control its population and it was destroying their ecosystem too. In 1935, Australia faced the same sugarcane problem. They watched the failed attempts of 2 countries and learned that those 2 are idiots and we are smart, so we can easily control the toad population.
Humans are crazy dumb. Like, what the actual fuck? Like, how many sequels to the same ecological disaster do we need? Puerto Rico flopped, Hawaii flopped, and Australia still went, yeah, 3rd time's the charm. It's wild how overconfident people get with nature, like it's a mobile game and not an ecosystem. The Cane Toad saga is basically humanity's recurring boss fight that we keep losing spectacularly.
With confidence, they brought 102 toads from Hawaii. They tried their best, and yet, after 15 years in 1950, Australia labeled the toads as, yup, the invasive species. The cane toads are voracious eaters. They swallow anything that fits in their mouth. They eat insects, rodents, lizards, birds, eggs, snakes, fish, other toads and frogs. But that was not the reason why they multiplied so fast. The main reason was, they were easy food for other animals to eat. Yup, these toads are poisonous and have poison glands in the backside of their head, and the whole body is a poison sac itself. They breed and lay eggs in water. Even the eggs in tadpoles are poisonous too. Water snakes, turtles, and fish started eating those eggs in tadpoles. Land animals like quolls, goannas, rats, snakes, and birds started eating adult toads. As a result, a large number of these native animals started dying. Even crocs started dying eating these toads. The animals then started avoiding the toads. With no one to kill them, their population exploded. Authorities tried everything. They even paid local people to kill the toads, whack them with golf bats, shoot them, stomp them, and whatnot. But nothing worked. Scientists even discussed releasing STD for toads. I'm not sure if they did that or not. As of now, there are more than 200 million toads, and native animal population has decreased by more than 70%. The country has spent millions of dollars for this cause. But nothing has worked till now. There has been some discussion about bringing some new species to kill those toads naturally. Hope it goes well this time. This is emerald ash borer, or EAB for short. This half-inch beetle may look really beautiful, but it is the most dangerous insect you have ever witnessed in your life. Native to China, Russia, Japan, and Korea, it has become a pandemic in North America and has caused damages worth billions, and is not showing any signs of slowing down. As per how it entered here, researchers say it might have entered North America in wood packaging materials from China in the late 1990s.
Happens so often. Same story, different species. A lot of invasive disasters start this way, just accidentally imported. Fish, crabs, even tiny mollusks hitching rides in ballast water from giant container ships. It's like globalization's dark side quest. We trade goods and nature trades chaos. Honestly, the ocean's turning into a biological version of airport lost luggage.
The main target of this beetle is the ash tree. The adult EAB feeds on ash leaves, so it's not much of a concern. The problem arises when it starts laying eggs. The beetle searches for cracks in the tree bark and lays eggs there. It can lay around 80 to 100 eggs in different cracks of the same tree. And when the eggs hatch into larvae, the countdown begins. The larvae feed on phloem and cambium, and to reach it, they must drill inside the inner bark layer. If you don't know, photosynthesis makes food for the plant, and phloem carries that food to different parts of the tree. Phloem acts as a food distribution network, and cambium is the layer that creates new cells of xylem and phloem. To make it simple, xylem is the wood part of a tree, phloem is the bark. And when the larvae reach the inner bark, they move around eating the phloem and cambium. This damages the food supply of the tree, and since they eat cambium, no new cells are there to replace it. Now, the tree starts to starve. Multiple larvae from trunk to branches increase the tree's stress level. There can be as much as 80 larvae per tree. With no food to eat, the tree gets hungry and dies within 3 to 4 years. In the last 20 years, more than 100 million ash trees were killed by these half-inch bugs, and they won't stop until all the 8 billion ash trees in Northern America are wiped out.
It's crazy how sensitive ecosystems are. Like one tiny bug and the whole forest goes full apocalypse mode. The emerald ash borer isn't even that big, yet it's basically North America's tree Thanos, quietly snapping millions out of existence. It's wild how interconnected everything is. Mess with one layer of bark and suddenly entire landscapes start collapsing. Nature's balance is delicate, and we keep speedrunning how to break it.
Some wasp species from China are being introduced to these areas. The wasp lays eggs in beetles' larvae, and wasp's larva kills that larva. It's the natural enemy from the homeland. I hope the wasps don't become the new invasive ones. If that happens, God save America. This is a camel. Yup, everybody knows it. It's literally a wonder of nature. Whenever I see this guy, I remember, "And the God created camel" joke. I'll tell the joke in some other camel video. For now, let's see what this animal has invaded. For this, we have to go back to Australia again. Camels are called ships of deserts because they can walk 250 miles or 400 kilometers in the desert without drinking water. Yup, they are the sand ships. Since the British were invading Australia in the 1800s, they needed something to transport the goods. Australia being 70% desert or arid land, camels were the perfect vehicles. So, they brought some camels to carry the loads. It was so effective that they started bringing more and more camels from the Indian subcontinent. But, by 1900, the motorized engine started to hit the road. The Britishers imported some motor trucks as well as some engineers to Australia. They started making roads and vehicles. By 1907, they completely stopped importing the camels. Since the motors could do all the travel and heavy lifting, all 15,000 camels became almost useless, except for luxury riding, which they didn't do anyway. Returning them back was a pain in butt for them. So when it was time to leave, they chased all the camels to the wild and left the country. Yup, that was the way of Britishers, creating the problems before leaving.
Big, slow, and tempting to solve with a hunting montage. At least that's my idea. But shooting a population scale problem is a logistical, legal, and ethical nightmare. Carcass disposal, public outrage, ecosystem ripple effects. Think about long-term fixes. Fertility control, relocation, commercial use, or targeted mustering. Also, camels are tough. Aerial culls look cinematic but blow up in headlines. Culinary revenge, messy, and not a sustainable strategy.
No one cared much for almost a century. They just enjoyed the arid climate and started multiplying. From those 15,000, they reached around 1 million in the 2010s, and it was a red alert. They started drinking up entire lakes and consuming all the available plants. The native animals that depend on those lakes and grass started dying, and it was an ecological disaster. With a 10% growth rate and no predators, camels could double the population in just 8 years. They even started entering human settlement and roads. So thousands of camels were shot, either from the ground or from the helicopter. Around 5,000 camels are killed every year for meat and leather. But this isn't putting a dent on the problem. I hope they start domesticating those feral camels and use them for food, milk, and leather. It could be a stable income industry in my opinion. But if left unchecked for next 4 decades, there will be more camels in Australia than the entire world's combined. And there are 35 million camels in the world. Talking about the population, there are over 8 billion people, and I have only 15,000 subscribers. But I love you guys.
The world keeps creating problems, and creators like this keep turning them into gold. Massive shout out to What Gives for this incredible video. The visuals, pacing, humor, everything just clicked. You'll find the link down in the description, and trust me, it's worth your time. As for the next one, let's just say things are about to get even stranger. Stay nerdy.